supposed to work today and got canceled, so I had my hair up in a like a bandana type thing, and my blue has slipped out of my hair quite a bit, um, and stuff. So my hair just looks like it did when I had it up like this with the bandana on my head because my hair's so long and I work out on the road, as many of you guys know. And hair to your waist just isn't a good idea when you're working with signs and stands and out on the road. So, yeah. But we got canceled today and stuff, so I decided I've been trying to catch up on commissions and stuff like that because you guys know I've been swamped. Um, so I am getting on the downside of it slowly but surely. And so today I'm going to be doing a video on a little bit of a traditional commission that I've got in. Since I've got all the digital ones pretty much knocked out, which were the PFP profile images that I have. The coins, they are not actual money, but you could pay through PayPal if you wanted to. It's just it wouldn't be a lot in cash value from amino coins. Um, so it's kind of like how the DA points are. They translate differently in dollars. But I have a lot of those. I have those done. So I have this traditional commission. That's a word mouthful, and I'm having issues talking today to work on that. I just sketched literally when I got home, and thank goodness my commissioner was quick to get back with on approving the sketch. So now that the sketch has been approved, we're going to color it. And of course, I had to sit here and think about what media I was going to use. If I was going to use a Hulu markers, or if I was going to use Prismacolor or just mixed media. I still may do mixed media. It's hard to say with me. I'm kind of a random person when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm going to be doing a little bit of coloring on it, and I'm going to videotape that. And here in a second, your guys are going to be switched to the art piece, which is already sketched. And we're going to color a little bit on these little fellas and stuff. People's wanting to know if my commissions are open, and no, my commissions right now are closed because while this is a traditional piece that I'm working on, it doesn't well. I still have like one, maybe two, I think one commission yet to do before I will reopen. And where I've been doing a lot of hours at work, it is hard for me to do 5 commissions. So I may only take like or excuse me, 2 or 3 at a time, because once the hours being up with doing it, being out on the road and stuff like that, because it's not uncommon for me to be out there like 16, 20 hours. So that being said, I may only take 3 at a time because it will be easier for me. Um, when our hours are low and stuff like that, then I can take like 5, and it ain't gonna be no big deal. But a practical thing at the moment, I never can find anything I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Because I'm about ready to switch y'all to look at the artwork, so you're not gonna be looking at me here very long. So there we go. Back to the weird angling that I have with my setup, because I have a jank set up. And you probably will hear my phone and crap go off because I have people always messaging me. Always. It never ends. Ever. And stuff. I want to really kind of play with like lighting on this. And stuff. Because I kind of want this to look dynamic. And I will clean this up more right through here because I realized I didn't get all this. Which I sketched this with a mechanical pencil, and I'll know how I feel about that, which is why I've got my hand to smudge the pencil and everything else. I'm trying to figure out, and I probably should sit down here and figure this out before I started recording. But my brain don't work like that. But I'm thinking about maybe I want to have a definite light source. That way I can make this look really dynamic because I like doing exaggerated lighting and stuff like that on some stuff because if you have no light source, it kind of makes it fun. Like this piece technically does not have a light source in it. There's no light source because it's just the forest behind them and stuff. So this gives me a chance to play with a light source. In my reference picture of them as humans, the light source is like here in the center. And that would possibly work because it would be like her face would be mostly lit up, and then this maybe to here, and his face. I just do like my little guidelines, and then the top of her face, and top of his ears, and the side of his face, and the side of her face, and that leg, and then the rest of it would kind of like not be. And I probably am going to use that yellow because it will marry well with the light source that I'm going to have coming, which is on the leaves and stuff too, because we want it all to kind of match and mirror. So I'm just going to go ahead and roughly do that. So I have a guideline source because I am kind of scatterbrained this morning because I am freaking ass tired. It has been a long damn week, and mother is over it. Um. Anyway, I want to answer these people back here really quick. Um, like I said, this phone never shuts the hell up. So these videos tend to be long and a lot of times kind of unproductive because it's like every time I think I have a good time to film and stuff, it's the everybody blows the phone up, not just myself, but the landline phone, and then I get spammed with text messages and everything. It's like there's never a good time to do a video on just where I'm videotaping and you guys are just watching me do the artwork. It's like that never freaking happens because people won't allow it to happen. I guess I could just ignore everybody, but then you just hear this phone go ting 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 all the time. I think when I start recording, I just turn the friggin' phone off. That way, no, I don't have to worry about it. But the thing is, I got the human references on my phone, so I have to use that to kind of try to make them match with the wolves because I think they're going to have to be solid colors because they didn't really give me a particular look they wanted the wolves to have. So this is going to be interesting to see what I come up with. But yeah, I know. And when I was alive, when I had the camera turned to me, I know I look like crap. It shows that I have worked all week and I'm kind of dead on my feet. Addie, what are you doing, puss? My cat's like in my business. Uh, and again, I got another message coming in about the PFPs. I have posted across Amino that at the moment my commissions are closed. But people don't read posts very well. So I've got like 3 or 4 people who have inquired about commissions, probably about close, I say 5 or 6. And not just on Amino, but on Facebook and stuff too. And I tell people, like, I'll announce when I'm closed and I'm open. I try to be good about that, but I'm on so many places, sometimes it gets hard. But right now, I am definitely closed until I get caught up. And then I'm only going to be taking 3 at a time. So there's there's not going to be any 5 slots open right now where our hours are up at my job because, like I said, I can't. I literally cannot take on a lot and be that because you're going to be waiting practically till the weekend for me to slam these out. And a lot of times on the weekend, on the Saturday and stuff, my mom's been helping me and all that. But you guys don't want to know any of that. That's boring crap. Y'all come here for the artwork. Like I said, I'm going to answer this message here real quick that I'm reading, and then I'm going to start coloring. If she answers me back here, I'll just make her wait. She don't mind. She's pretty cool. So. So I'm gonna get silent here for a minute because I have to think. And of course, a typo. I hate autocorrect. It's Satan. Okay, I think this wolf, she's going to be like a light brown, like a creamy brown. I don't even know what color brown you call that, but it's like a very strange brown. I may have to put this fan on too because it's freaking hot as hell up here. I'm be so glad when summer is freaking over with. I'm tired of the heat. I'm tired of it all. I'm tired of it. But when you work in it, that's what happens. Alrighty, I'm sorry I was quiet and I didn't do anything. I was just sitting here staring at a paper, but sorry about that. Like legit. But we're going to color now for a little bit. I just had to answer them people back, and unfortunately, I had a brain fart while I was trying to type. So I'm always a stickler for wording things correctly, and I always have to go back through and spell check myself because my autocorrect, when I type it, it'll be exactly what I want to say, and then when I look back, and it's like my autocorrect changes it to something that I never said. So that's one thing that I like a computer over a smartphone or tablet any days because the damn autocorrect does not exist on a computer. I actually prefer a computer over a phone or a laptop. It's just I've gotten to the point where that's what I use a lot because, well, it's available to me. But I still like a computer. Like I'm using a computer right now to stream this because I can't get YouTube to stream on my phone. I didn't do a live video because apparently my phone is an outdated phone, so it isn't going to run on it. It's not compatible with their terms of service or some bull crap. Which I do need a new phone. It's just there's a complication with that because of my family are idiots over stupid crap, which I'm not getting into because it isn't art related. I'll just say this: people are special, and I'll just leave it at that. On another note, we have a new hire, and I've got to work and train with him. He's a very chatty young fella, but I like him. I think he's got potential. It's just going to take him a little bit to learn the ropes. My only thing, though, at my job that gets on my nerves is the freaking high school drama bullshit. Excuse my language, but that crap gets on my nerves. I hate it. I hate freaking drama. I hate people who start drama. I hate people who freaking do stuff and say stuff to make everybody else miserable at their workplace just because, they're not being catered to the way that they think they need to be catered to. And I hate to tell people, ain't nobody out there better than anybody. We all sweat the same, bleed the same, and everything else. But you'll have that on job sites and job places, and some places it is worse than others, and it's just, I just hate it. I just see no point in it. Like, if you want to be high school prima donna, go back to high school. Ain't nobody got time for that in adult real life. Because nobody cares. If you don't like how something's being done at a job or something, go get hired somewhere else, doing something else. Don't make hardships for people who have to stay there and work because they ain't got nothing else. It's crap. But it's people for you. Yeah. I love Prismacolor pencils. I'm actually using Bristol paper this time instead of sketch paper. I remembered. I was almost tempted to take sketchbook with me today and sketch this out on the road, and then I remembered it's a commission, lady. You've got to do it on professional stuff. Like my last commission, which was done on sketch paper because, Goober here took sketchbook out on the road and sketched and worked on stuff, and then I realized, oh poopy, it's a commission. Which I use good sketchbooks anyway. I like using the Canson All Mixed Media sketchbooks. I really like those. They're good. You can get them at Walmart and AC Moore and stuff. They're really good for sketching, and like I've used them for a couple years, and I really like just about everything works pretty decently on them. Not as good as Moleskin though. Those are good. I love those sketchbooks. I always feel that when I have one of those that, I've got to do my best art in those because they're nice sketchbooks. I had a little pocket one. I loved that thing. It had, I want to think 80 pages in it. Never tore not one page out of that little thing, and I took it everywhere with me. And I hate doing little artwork, and I hate drawing small and stuff, but I feel that sketchbook can probably, it took me a year actually to fill that sketchbook because there were so many pages in it. But I used a lot of watercolor and stuff like that. I use a Rodney and Dowler set. It's like a student grade watercolor, which, isn't very good for professional work, but I turned out some pretty decent stuff with them. They're just not that pigmented, so when you're using them, you have to go over it quite a bit. And if you don't have really good watercolor paper and stuff, it will buckle it, and you'll get little pieces of paper, right, peeling off itself and crap like that. But because of student grade, you got to use a butt ton of water to blend them, and you have to go over things to get it darker, because when they dry, they're really, really, really light and they're not dark and stuff. And I actually have ordered a Sakura set of watercolors, Koi 24 watercolor set. It's a little field set. I got it off of eBay. I got a pretty decent little deal on it. I think they're rated. eBay, of course, goes from the best down to the worst when it comes to art products. So I think they were like fifth on the list in the top five. So I went with them. I couldn't afford Winsor Newton set or the other one that was number two to it. I think it was Schmidtke or something, however it's pronounced. I can't pronounce it right. But those, and I couldn't afford either of them because it was way, 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 way out of my price range. And I feel if I really want to venture doing more watercolor stuff, then maybe I will invest in a set like that later. But it's taken me a long time just to invest from the tiny Rodney Dowler field set that I bought at Walmart for $10 a couple years ago. So I wondered if I had a better set of watercolors, if I could turn out something, if I could do better quality pieces and stuff with it. So I got them. I'll keep my old Rodney and Dowler set because I have a little pocket sketchbook, and I like to use them for rough sketches and stuff, even though the paper is super thin and terrible because it is from Walmart. It is like a $2 sketchbook. So, I mean, it fits in the palm of your hand. It's actually what's propping up this laptop. And the paper in is atrocious. Like it peels off of itself with just markers, if that says anything. So it's terrible for just about any media, unless you're using a pencil, color pencil, or ballpoint pen. It's really not good for much. Like, they're really cheap, but my mommy got it for me, so I'm going to try to feel it. And I take it out on the road with me so I can do little tiny sketches and doodles and cartoons and stuff like that. And it's fun. And my crew, they like looking through the drawings and stuff. That's like what they like to do. They like my art. They tell me I'm too talented to be doing what I do. But I remind them that, my art don't pay my bills and doesn't pay for me to live, so I have to actually get out and have a legitimate job. So until I can make my dream a reality, which is being able to live off of my artwork, I have to actually work a real job. And we have more messages coming in. It's all fun. It's fun. Absolutely fun. Today I'm just trying to get caught up on what I owe people already. And I'm not going to be taking no commissions right now. Like, I have got to finish my workload before I open any slots. That's just the way I've always been. And a lot of new clients don't realize that because, well, they didn't know me when I did live off of my artwork back in the day. And back then, though, I had a job where I could take, it was nothing for me to take like 10 commissions in at a time. And I kept a notebook where I kept descriptions and refs and folders and stuff on my computer. And I mean, I stayed super organized on that, but I had to, because that was my business, and I had to be all about it. But right now, I work for a different company, and I don't work for myself, so I ain't got all the hours in the day to sit and slam nothing but artwork for people and keep up with quota. I'm also still busting an art block too, so it makes it a little difficult to do commissions when you got an art block because that creative juice just isn't there, and you have to really force it out, and that's sometimes really hard and stuff. My last commission will be a logo for a business, actually, that I got to do, and once that is done, then I'll be opening up commissions. I don't even have the preliminary sketch for that up yet for that client, which they know I'll get it done. They're super understanding, which everybody's been super understanding. So I like really appreciate that. It's like everybody who's wanting commissions right now, don't worry, I will get you. Um, because everybody who has messaged me about PFPs, and I've got you on hold right now because I've told you I'm closed. Once I reopen, those of you who have messages with me on Wolf Amino, um, and other places, I will definitely be hitting you up as priority clients because you have already messaged me. So I'll take you in as priority over anyone else who's just who's posting to my wall to ask if I'm doing them or not. Those of you who have actually sent me a message, you will be the first ones I will work in for orders because you've been patient enough to wait for me to say, hey, I'm open. Okay, what do you want? But I'll be only taking 3 of you at a time and all that jazz because it's my job. Wintertime, I'll probably be able to take more in because wintertime is our really slow months, which means don't get a lot of work, don't get a lot of hours, and I ain't making money. So I will definitely want to stay booked in the wintertime. But I would, on those months when I'm having real low time, really need money, I'd rather have cash commissions than amino coins because I will have to worry about making my bills and stuff. So it's a little different when I don't have a steady paycheck. That's just the thing with my job. It's kind of like that. I have anybody in the live chat and stuff like that. I'm on a laptop and I don't have it to where I can actually type and answer you. So you can just leave a comment below, and when I end the video, then I can talk to you or answer you back if you have a question or whatever. I know there were some people tried to talk last time I had a live video going, and I'm sorry if I came off as like rude and stuff because I didn't answer you guys back. It wasn't because I was trying to be that way. It was because I'm on the laptop and I didn't even know there was anybody like watching me live. Like literally, I didn't know anybody was watching and talking in the chat or anything like that. And I'd had to flip it around and you would have to look at my face while I type. And I don't always like really showing my face because I look like I'm about ready to fall over right now, which is about accurate because while I was sketching this, I did doze off on the couch with a pencil in my hand. That's bad. So I'll probably color some on this and then I'll probably take me a freaking nap or something because I am just wore out. I'm not young anymore. Getting old sucks. On a different note, though, this morning I'm going to share a little experience that I had this morning, which was pretty cool, and wasn't really expecting to have it when I left the house. I was going into work this morning, which we ended up getting canceled because most of our gas crews was out last night doing stuff. So we ended up getting canceled, even though we got called out and stuff. Sometimes you don't know when stuff like that's going to happen. Sometimes it does. But anyway, I was traveling in the AM probably about, I want to say probably about 3:30 this morning. Might have been 3:25, somewhere around there. I was going down the road. Well, I was going out of the road over here where I live, and I went up the second big hill that I have to go up. And when I reached the top, I seen this little canine, which I thought it was somebody's puppy at first, because I thought it was a little puppy dog or somebody's puppy. I mean, he was in the road and stuff, just standing there. And when I got a little closer to him, because I mean, it wasn't skittish or anything, so I thought it was somebody's domestic pup. But as I got closer and stuff, I realized it was a coyote puppy. He wasn't skittish, and he just sat there, and I watched him for a bit, and I finally decided to take pictures. And when I started to take pictures, and that's when he started getting a little nervous and stuff. So pictures I got weren't too good, but he was very plush. He was very beautiful, very pretty color too, and he was just really plush, really fluffy. He wasn't mangy looking. He didn't have short hair or anything. He was real fluffy and floofy and just very lush. And he was a beautiful, beautiful little puppy, and had such a beautiful face on him too. He was beautifully marked and colored, and he was just a really nice looking puppy, coyote puppy, and he was a really good joy to see this morning because you don't really see coyotes much out and stuff. They pretty much, are like ghosts of the forest, kind of like how foxes and stuff are. So to see that little guy this morning was really, really, really cool. And I really loved that. So inspired by him when I got to work and I had got my truck and stuff ready, my work truck ready and stuff. I sat in my work truck with my dome light on and I sketched a picture of him, which I'm going to be doing in ballpoint pen. And I'll have that done on a later date whenever, I have time to do it. It's not a priority. It'll probably be done whenever I'm done with commissions or, I'll probably just do it out, work on that out on the road for relaxation on a lunch break or something. It's not something that has to be done right now. I've got the sketch down and started outlining it with the ballpoint pen, and then I'll go and do several little details and stuff and make it look really nice and make it pop. But he just really inspired me and stuff. He was just really, 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 really neat. And I know to a lot of people that ain't no big deal, but I live out in the country and I love nature and I like being out in the woods. I'm an avid hunter too. I believe that you have to have conservation. That way you thin out animals. That way they don't get sick and stuff. Some animals have to die for others to live, and that's the cycle of life. If you look at it in that aspect and you do it responsibly and you use what you harvest, then I see no problem in conservation. That's the whole point of it. That way they don't get disease, they don't get sick, they don't die because that crap does happen. And a lot of animal lovers are always about saving the wild animals and they don't want people killing them ever, but in reality, if you don't harvest some animals, they're healthy animals get sick and you end up losing them and stuff. So some things have to die in order for others to live. That's just the way life is intended to be. It's just like I deer hunt. And I'm not ashamed to sit here and say I'm a conservationist, but I never kill something and not use it. If I'm not going to use it, if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to go harvest that animal because to me this is a waste. If you waste, you kill to kill and you kill for a trophy, then you have no business being out there in the first place. I do not believe in trophy hunting. I do not believe in trophy hunting. I hate trophy hunting. I think that it gives conservation of animals a very bad name. And I hate trophy hunters that just go out there to kill for a trophy. I hate that. I hate that with a passion because I was raised with a poor family and we didn't have a lot of stuff. So like a lot of our meat and stuff like that was harvested from the woods. I mean, like from deer and stuff like that. And we used it. And that's what we did because that's what you did to survive. And because you didn't have money to go to the store and buy you a steak or something like that because we were poor. We had government cheese and pork for God's sake. I mean, heck, you didn't just go buy, a steak from the store. You went in the woods and got your steak, so to say. So, yeah, I mean, so that's why I have a problem with like big trophy hunters. I don't like people who just hunt for horns or for a trophy because to me that isn't right. That's not hunting. That's not conservation. That is not uh, managing uh, population and stuff like that so that sickness doesn't spread. That's just slaughter. That's slaughter and waste in my eyes. Given about 4 or 5 years ago, I did kill a huge buck. I killed like an 11 point. Biggest buck I've ever killed in my life, and probably the biggest one I'll ever kill in my life. He was taken where I live, which is in West Virginia. I'd been chasing him for a long time, and finally he made a mistake, and I ended up harvesting him. But now, on that story, he had been in a fight. He'd been badly injured too in his neck, and I think he would have died from his injuries anyway. I don't think he would have made it because his injuries were very extensive to the point they were starting to get infected. Which was lucky because when I harvested him, there was no infection set up in it yet, so the meat was salvageable and able to be used. And I had enough meat to last me for an entire year, and I canned my deer because I like to take the canned deer and just open the can and eat it like finger food, and I like using it for stews and chilies and stuff like that, and it's just great. It's more convenient to have it canned, and plus he was like an 8+ year old deer anyway, so he was going to be tough if you didn't can him. So I canned him, was able to use just about the entire carcass, and he fed me for a year, and but it was a very surreal hunt. How it happened because it was the last day of gun season, and he walked out there like nothing was going to bother him at 11 something that day, and it was a pretty warm day. And he was stopped 40 yards broadside. There was no obstructions in the way. It was perfect. I had buck fever, and I actually pulled a bad shot. And the shot I pulled is not a shot any hunter wants to pull. It ended up taking him though. I mean, he went down from it, and I ended up with my deer. But it was a shot that could have been could have ended up with me losing him and him expiring somewhere and him going to waste. I mean, there was a lot of elements on that could have went wrong. but it didn't. It played all in my favor for some weird reason. And I've never cried when I went hunting. I've never cried hunting. I've never cried when I've harvested any animal because, it's harvested in respect and it's harvested as food. But he was different, and I cried over him and thanked him for, giving his life and all that. And, like I said, he fed me for a good year. I didn't have to worry about meat or nothing like that. And that helped me out so much. Because at the time money was really, 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 really tight because I think I was unemployed at the time when I harvested him. So things were really tight and I couldn't afford a whole lot at that time because I just had like unemployment or something and I didn't get that much. So, it really helped me out a lot. But anyway, the moral of the story was he was a very big deer with a 17.5 inch spread, which is pretty good for a deer in West Virginia. And his tines are super, super, super long. And even though his rack is busted up where he was in a fight, he was a pristine 11 before he got into fighting and busted some of these tines and broke them and stuff like that. But I didn't care about that. But the thing of it is, I got a lot of meat that lasted me, and I also got a trophy. So if you get meat and a trophy, that's cool. But the trophy should never be number one. It should always be about harvesting an animal for food and using that animal. It should never be about killing something just because you can kill it for its antlers or something like that, but just because you want a wall hanger. That's wrong. You should never have that attitude about it. It should always be, you take it because you're going to use it. If you're not going to use it, then don't take it. It's just plain and simple. But, it's I catch a lot of crap because I hunt. Because we have a lot of anti-hunters. So I catch a lot of crap, but the way I look at it is I do conservation and I hunt for food. So I don't really consider myself like a sport hunter or a trophy hunter. I hunt for food and for conservation purposes. Um, I've even one year I hunted and I took several deer, but there were some needy families. They had kids. They didn't have money at the time and was very hungry. And I donated deer to feed those families and help them. And I did that one year. I think that was 2013. I did that. I took more deer than I ever had any season. But I did that because I was helping out other families that didn't have anything. So it was a good deed. It was something good to do. And, that fed that family for a while. So it worked out pretty good. I have the most random things I talk about when I do artwork. But I figure, I like being random and I like also talking about things that I like to do outside of art. That way, you guys kind of get a feel that I do have more interests other than just drawing all the time, which art is pretty much my main thing. But, I have other things I like doing. As everybody knows, I have a horse, Miss Jiggy, who is being boarded right now. She used to be at my mom's, but that's another story altogether. And now she has to be boarded an hour away from me, and it's really hard for me to go see her and spend any time with her. In about 4 months, I've only got to see her one time. Um, Mainly because the stable's only open to the public during the week. They do events and shows on the weekends. Now, weekends is when I know I can go over there and see her, but they're not open for people to come see the horses on weekends. You have to do it on weekdays, and they have a time frame for be in and be out. And it just makes it difficult because I 9 times out of 10 I have to work all week. So it really makes it hard to go see her and ride her and spend time with her and just do things with her like I would like to do. And it's a hindrance. Like I know, like the place she's at's like does really good. Like they have an on-site vet and everything else. I mean, like she is boarded at a really reputable place that takes immaculate care of her. Like they are super to her. And I couldn't ask for a better place for her to be staying at. Of course, it costs me, and I there goes my happy paychecks down the trail because by the time I pay I have by the time I get paid bi-weekly, so let's say once I pay the stable bill and bills, I only have half of my second paycheck left, which isn't very much. So it's like it sucks, especially with me wanting to restore my Thunderbird and stuff like that. It'd be so much easier if I could just keep my horse here. But the reality is, I don't have a shelter for her here at my house. My barn actually ended up falling down over the winter time. Um, so I don't have a place to keep her, and where I have to pay board, there goes the money I could use to have a new barn built. So it complicates everything. It sucks when you are your only income and you don't have help. It really does. It is hard to be by yourself and not have a partner to bring in, a partner who also works and brings in an income to kind of help and make things a little easier. Because with two people, you're able to afford a little bit more things than you can when you're by yourself. Adelaide. That freaking cat, man. She runs through here like a freight train, hits stuff, knocks stuff off. She's a year old and she's still into every friggin' thing like she was when she was friggin' 5 months old. It's stupid. I hope how soon she grows out of the being a kitten because she drives me crazy. She's about half the size of my miniature pencil. She weighs about 10 pounds and she's almost the same size as him. You ever take a few inches? There's no lie, she's huge. Like cat collars and stuff like that do not fit her. I have to buy her dog collar, like a small dog collar or a medium dog collar to fit her because she's so big. Um, she's more calm than what she used to be, but she's still rambunctious, and she probably will be until she's about 2. I'd say they start really losing the kitten stage in them when they're about 2 years old, sometimes 3. It just depends on the breed. She's not really a breed. She's a tabaco, what they call tabaco. She's a tabby with calico markings. She's pretty, but she's a turkey. Adelaide, Adelaide. I take her lots of places with me when I'm able to. She rides really good in a car. She leads pretty good too. She is she's something. She's definitely different. I mean, I don't like cats at all, but I will have to say this that she's probably one of the best cats I've ever had, hands down. Like she's pretty special, and I couldn't imagine not having her. I'm actually glad that she came into my life. She keeps me on my toes, and I kind of like that about her. And she is a hell of a mouser, man. Like she will kill anything that comes in this house. She don't really care what it is. It could be a mouse, a bug, a snake, and she's right there on top of it. I live by a farm, so they have field mice a lot. Sometimes they come in the house here because I live right next to the horse farm, and it's literally like in my door. Like I can walk on my porch and there's like their fence line and stuff like that for the horses. And the barn ain't very far either. So like mice sometimes come over here to the house from the pasture and stuff like that, and they come in through under the kitchen door and stuff, and she'll grab them and take them out pretty quick. Like I said, she's a really good mouser. She earns her keep. She's different. She likes to play fetch. That's her favorite thing. She likes you to throw her toy and she likes to go get it and she'll bring it right. She'll jump up on your lap, but then just drop the pom pom there on your chest and she'll just wait for you to throw it. And if you don't throw it, she'll sit there and meow, and she sounds like a Siamese cat when she meows because she just has that tone, long drawn out meow that is very annoying. I love her until that mouth opens up on her, and then it's like, no, because she sounds like a Siamese cat. She does not like my mother, though, which baffles my mom because animals like her. But Adelaide does not like my mother. She hides under a blanket from my mother. It's kind of funny, and she will not come out from underneath the blanket until my mom leaves. That's great. She's crazy. I'm just using like building up like the lights and stuff like that. I probably have some of the highlights and the lighting off, but for the most part, I should have it about correct because I was kind of wanting it more focused, like right here in the center. Remembering too that there's going to be tones it's going to be darker because it's in the shadows and stuff like that, so you always work from your lightest to your darks and stuff like that. Kind of have a weird way of how I work with colors and stuff. And like I said, everybody does their coloring and detailing and stuff like that differently. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. I mean, you do it how you want. It's just all about finding who you are. When you do artwork, you should be about creating what you envision, what you feel, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad or not. Art is an expression of the person, and for people to say, "Well, art has to be this way or that way," I don't think art should be any way, any specific thing, because I think it should be what that person um, should be like an expression of that person. And I think that we all have like our own styles and ways of doing things, and everybody's art is unique to them. I think, unless you're style, you copycat styles and stuff like that, which you really can't. There's no such thing as a copyright style, but there's a lot of people who do a lot of the same or similar styles because that's what's in the art world, and what's trending, shall I say? Term it better, trending. I think that if you're an artist and you're doing artwork, it's okay maybe if you want to venture on the styles that are trending and stuff, but definitely just, you know, do you. And because what you will come up with that's unique to yourself is not going to be what's trending. There's too many people's art out there, even though while it's very gorgeous and well done, looks like other artists' way of coloring and doing things. And when you see one, you see it all. It's good to see somebody who has a different kind of flair to bring to the table, even if it is just a simple art piece. Because when you do trending styles, like a lot of the digital artists tend to do, not so much traditional artists, but digital artists have like several styles that they trend. And it's like every digital artist does these same styles. And some pull it off a little better than others, but it's still like basically the same style. And it's like my digital coloring is the strangest crap, and we've all said that. While sometimes I can pull off a digital piece and make it look really, really good, there's at times when I just can't get digital media to do what I friggin' want it to do. Because, like I've told people, it's a learning curve for me. It's like what is easy for you to do in a digital art program is not easy for me to do. And which is weird. I went to school for it, and it still gives me issues. It's still a curve for me. And I think it's because I've always been a traditional artist, and that's my go-to, and that's my comfort zone, I believe. Digital art I am not comfortable with, though I've been trying to do more digital, equally as much digital art as I do traditional art, because I'm trying to break that learning curve. I'm trying to improve my digital coloring and style and blends and detailing and stuff on my fur and stuff, but it's I still, some it's hit and miss. I know if I started doing it on the computer, it would probably be a better thing than just doing it on my phone in Ibis Paint, which Ibis Paint's a great little travel program. You can do wonderful things in it. Crit is another good one that I like tinkering around in. It's free on the computer. Of course, I have Photoshop. I have licensed copy of Photoshop Suite, so I don't have to worry about paying a monthly fee for Photoshop, even though my Photoshop CS4 is outdated by Photoshop standards now. It's still my registered copy of from when I went to college and stuff like that. And if it ain't broke, why fix it? And it works fine. So it's registered, and I don't have to pay for it because I already paid for it when I went to college. And so why pay a monthly subscription fee when I have the actual program? All I have to do is install it on the computer. It's no big deal. I also have Painter, Corel Painter, I think somewhere too. Corel Painter 6 or something like that. I never could get that to work right for me. Of course, I'm not big on Corel programs. I was never exposed to Corel when I took digital art and stuff like that. They just predominantly used Photoshop. Photoshop was the go-to, and that was the digital program that you used. You didn't use anything else but Photoshop. I've heard that the Procreate's good for like the iPad and stuff like that. If I get an iPad or something like that, I may get Procreate and do some stuff in it. I need to sharpen my pencil, but I just don't want to get up and do it. I should have all this stuff done before I film. Make sure all my pencils are sharp so I don't have to worry about getting up. But you know what? I usually never know if I'm going to actually do a video or not, and usually when I do, it's like it's on a whim, just like today. I initially wasn't going to do a video on this at all. Period. I was just going to try to get the color knocked out on it and roll, but it didn't work out that way for me. I just ended up. Um, I'm like, ooh, I ain't. People are probably getting tired of my speed paint and draws. I've uploaded a few that don't have music, but they're super short, so I didn't really think music was relevant. So, and I'm not a big fan of the NCS music that I've been using. Some of it's been okay, some of it is just, I don't know, it all sounds like synthesized club music to me, and I don't know, don't feel it. A lot of it don't really flow with my art and the theme of it and what the art is about. That's why I usually just like using songs that I have bought or purchased, because I can match the song I want to the piece that's being viewed and speed painted. But due to copyright laws, we can't do that anymore. It's like you can't do anything anymore with anything, and ruins it for people. Like NCS music isn't too bad, but like can never find any. I've only ever found two I kind of actually liked. And the rest of them, it's just been like, nah, it'll work. Like the Redemption video I did. Well, I use that song Redemption on two pieces. I did the video for Purgatory with that Redemption song, and then I did a speed paint, headshot speed paint to that song. I just really liked the words and what it was talking about and stuff like that, and I figured it would be really good with my Purgatory cast. So it actually fit my wolf more than it did anybody else. So that's why a lot of the imagery on it was her. Adelaide. Adelaide. Hey. She getting into stuff. I think she doesn't. She was laying on the floor being a good girl, dozing off, napping, and then when I get taken, get on to actually videotape and film and stuff like that, and she gets into everything coming and going. It's like everybody knows when I'm doing this. I think that's yellow ochre. Is it yellow ochre? It's goldenrod, same thing, basically. Oh wow, it doesn't even feel like it's 1 o'clock. It's crazy. And you guys are probably just loving hearing me ramble. I thought I had another message. I wasn't really sure on it. I probably answer them back and then go sharpen that ochre pencil because it's a little bit too short. I'm also trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the piece too while I'm uh, working on it. Read that later. All right, I'm going to sharpen this pencil. Sorry, I had to answer it back. Like I said, taking forever because I had to um, fix all my typos. Ah, there we go. I got my pencil sharpened now. Yee. Sorry about that. I actually need to put my piece of paper over this. That way I don't get like smudge, just smudging the pencil. Poop everywhere. Poop. I'm sorry if this stream is kind of boring and you kind of just sit here and looked at the picture without me doing stuff for a few minutes and all that. It's just crazy. It's just I always seem to have like constant flow of messages. Some people like clients and stuff like that, I try to answer them back. People who are inquiring for commissions right now, though, I'll get back with them later. Right now's work time. I'm not going to answer commissions right now. I'll do it later this evening or in the morning. It'll probably be in the morning, considering I'll probably take a nap here when I finish streaming because I just feel so dead. It's like my motivation to even color on this just isn't there right now because I just want to feel so tired. Like I said earlier, I had the camera on me. You could probably tell that I looked really tired. I look like I've had a rough week, is what I look like. I put gel in my hair to keep it from being frizzy when I put it underneath my headscarf, so it makes my hair look oily, even though it's not. It's just something hair dye's always done, like hair gel has always done. It's always made my hair look oily. It's not. I just use like a little tiny bit, just keep it from being frizzy. Or I have to wear something on my head all day at work. And it gets even more fun when I have to wear a hard hat. Which is what I also wear all day too, on top of my headscarf. It keeps my hair out of the way. Sometimes. I just feel so sleepy, like I could just lay down right here and go to sleep. Which I probably won't. I'll say I need to take a nap and I need to sleep and rest, and then I won't do it. That's the way it always is, because it's like once I'm up, I'm up. It doesn't matter how tired or how bad I feel. It's just like, unless I'm sick, I'm just not going to take a nap or anything like that. Which we've been working out in the hot sun and stuff too, and that's making a lot of us like feel sick and drained and not felt very good. Working out in 90-degree weather with a heat index of 100 or something will absolutely thump you. And people don't think it does, but when you're working out in it all day, 10, 12, 18 hours and stuff, it ain't no laughing matter. It's hard on people. And we have to be on our feet all day too. It's because we're out on the road and stuff on blacktop and concrete and stuff like that all day, and it's rough. But I do like my job. I like that I get to see a lot of things. I get to drive and learn how to get to places I never knew how to get to before. I learn a lot of things with my job. I learn a lot of stuff every day. I learn new things, and it's exciting and fascinating all at the same time. But it's also makes for long days and makes you tired too. So you got the good and the bad. That's like with anything. My eyes are watering, hardcore watered. My eyes usually water like that if I'm really, obviously I can't talk, really super tired. My eyes will sit in water like I'm crying. It could be too where I still have makeup on. Mm. My makeup is rather dark. Well, considering I woke up at 1 o'clock this morning, getting ready for work and stuff like that, I don't guess my makeup's gonna look too on point. Being half asleep, and the only thing I really do elaborate when I go to work is like my eye makeup and stuff like that, and that's it. I don't really wear any other makeup, just eyeshadow, liner, and mascara, and a little bit of lip gloss, keep my lips from getting chapped out on the road, and that's it. I mean, it's less than 3 minutes to get my face on in the mornings, and really, you don't want to wear a lot of makeup in the kind of job I do, because when it's real hot, it's going to melt off your face. It doesn't. It's different if you work in an office where it's air conditioned and stuff like that, and you're not sweating a lot and stuff. Yeah, you can do the full makeup and look really nice. But where I'm not in air conditioner, my work truck don't have AC in it, so I just roll the windows down, which is fine with me because my personal vehicle has no AC or heater. So I roast in the summer and freeze to death in the wintertime. So I'm pretty used to it. So it doesn't matter that my work truck's air conditioner does not work. I frankly don't really give a damn about an air conditioner in a vehicle. Um, I don't like them in vehicles because people freeze me to death with it, and they don't take in consideration that you know I get cold easy, so I don't really like an air conditioner very much. Now I've ran an air conditioner here a couple times all night long as I slept because it was so hot in the house you couldn't breathe. Literally you could not breathe, and I didn't want my animals to die, and I bundled up and slept bundled up like an Eskimo because I can't do ACs. I can't do the air conditioning. Like right now, I just got a fan going on me, and that's perfect. Like I'm fine with that. But it's also not super hot up here today. It's like in the 70s, like 79, I think, is what the weather channel said it was. It's supposed to rain today, which it probably will later. I'm thinking it's saying 2 o'clock or something like that. It's supposed to have some thunderstorms come through here. I hope not, because if it does, my internet will go out. I have satellite internet, so if the rain comes down real bad, it will knock the satellite reception out on it. But other than that, it runs pretty good any other time. I have Exceed satellite internet, and I ain't had no problems with them. My mom had them, and she didn't like it because she said it ran too slow, and she had, I think, the same package I had, and she said it ran too slow and lagged out on it and stuff. But now I do all kinds of stuff on it and don't have no problems with it whatsoever. And it costs me like $33.55 a month, which isn't bad for unlimited satellite internet usage, which is pretty good. It does it does get a little tiny bit slow, like just a touch slow 2 days before I have to pay the bill. But I was told that was to be expected because that's satellite internet for you. It's not the same as DSL connection or cable connection. So I used to have DSL here. I had Frontier. Nobody wants to know my thoughts and feelings on Frontier internet because it's just I hate them. Like when I first got it, it was like good internet and everything like that, and I never had an issue with it. And in the last couple of years, I did, and I had to get rid of it because I couldn't even get online with my cell phone. Like an iPhone couldn't even go online with it. I think it was when I had iPhone 6. No, it was the 6S Plus that I have now. Couldn't even get online because it was too slow. So if you can't even get online with the phone and stuff like that, then it's not practical to have it. You know what I mean? So since they didn't want to fix the problem with their internet service and all that happy jazz, I went with their competitor and got rid of them. And I'd been with them for a long time. I think somewhere between like 2007. Yeah, 2007. I'd had them. So I'd been with Frontier for a long time. And but it's to the point where the service is just so bad, and they won't. Their service guys won't come out and take care of the problems or work on the problem tickets or anything like that, and fix any of the issues. And I can't have a provider that's like that. It's just a waste of my money. And I was paying them about the same price I pay Exceed, and so I went with Exceed. I wasn't too happy about going with the satellite internet, but it's not too bad. I can't. They say I'm not serviceable for cable, but I've had cable in this house before, a long time ago, back when it was Charter, not Suddenlink. Suddenlink won't touch this place for some odd reason. They tell me my pole is 400 feet from the
house and we can't do it. That I would have to set another pole by the house. And I'm just like, that's really. There's a pole up from the house, so they could just run the cable line from that because it has everything on it as well. So I know it's not the only one with a cable transformer on it. It's crazy. They just don't want to do the service hookup because they have to come get special permission to come down through my neighbor's property to get onto my property down here by the house, and I don't guess they really want to go through all that. I don't know. It's just a lot of people don't even know how to get to my house because I'm not really easily accessible. I'm not up by the road or nothing like that. And I'm technically supposed to have a right of way down to my house across my neighbor's property because he rides off of my electric pole, but you know how that goes. But I can't complain too much because he comes and mows my yard for me, which is a big, big, big help and much appreciated. And he won't take pay or nothing like that, so that helps me out a whole lot. So I'm very appreciative of that because lawn maintenance can actually cost quite a bit. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. I can't even like talk. I feel like I'm slurring every word I'm saying because all I want to do is just shut my eyes and pass out. So tired. So tired, but I gotta get something done on this. Like, this poor person has waited a week for this thing to be sketched, and I feel so bad over that. But damn, man, I do what I can. Sometimes my job interferes with what I want to do, but like I said, I'm glad everybody's been super understanding with me. It's like you'll get what you order. I mean, it's just like it'll just take a little bit of time, and I can't work with deadlines. Um, I will not work with deadlines. I can't. Now, back in the day when I did, when my art was my business, because I was able to have my art as my business and live off of it and stuff like that. I had all the time in the world work on everything that I could meet deadlines and stuff like that. But with the job I'm with now that I've been with over a year, it's not practical. I can't work with deadlines anymore. It's just when you commission me, you'll get your piece will get done, but you can't just say, "Oh, I want this done in a week," because I can't guarantee you I can do that in a week. It may take me a week just to get your preliminary sketch to you. I mean, it's like this client has waited a week just to have this sketched out. Which, like I said, she's very prompt to get back with me on the sketch and approve it. So super happy because the faster that my client can approve a preliminary, the faster I can get coloring and get your order started. Because coloring really, while it does take time, make it look right and stuff is actually the easy part of it. And it's not the hard part of it. I mean, well, I guess it can be.